Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a journal share. So this is a collection of journals that are going to be available for sale. Most of them are going to go up for sale on Etsy, which I'll link down below. And then I think I'll save just 2 of them for eBay, which will be auctions. So I'll have all of that linked down below and all of the information for the sale in the description box because I haven't yet decided the time and the date and all of that stuff. These journals were supposed to be finished a few weeks ago, but unfortunately myself and my family all got really sick with the flu and I'm still recovering. Like 2 weeks later, my sinuses are still blocked, so my voice again is still really weird and my nose feels really blocked up, but we're slowly getting there. So this collection includes 8 journals, and this collection is very much like fairy tale / cottage core. So you'll notice that a lot of these books have cute little cottage images as the focal image on the front, and then some of them have animals. So they have a very cottage core sort of vibe, which is what I was going for. I was also going for quite a distressed look, and I did lots of experimenting while I was making these journals. Tried a few different techniques, and it was a bit of a journey actually making these journals. I feel like I doubted myself a lot during the process of making these, and that was probably just because I was trying different things, and so like I didn't have the practice behind some of the techniques that I was trying, and so it made me really like doubtful of what I was doing and whether they were going to turn out okay. But I'm really happy with how they turned out in the end. It's funny looking at them now because I think they're super pretty and it's a really nice collection of journals, but during making them for so long and like in between trying different ideas and different techniques that I hadn't tried before, I definitely felt a lot of doubt about whether they were even going to turn out nice. I'm going to try and get through this video pretty quickly. So all of these journals measure about 6 inches wide by about 8 inches tall, and the spines are about 2 inches wide. So they're a nice size. They're just like a regular, like medium-sized journal, and they look quite full, but I did tea dye the pages in here, so they're a bit fluffed up, and there's also some extras in here which you can take out to make more room. There is definitely some growing room in here. Each book has 6 signatures, and they all have the charm dangles, and then they all have a closure. Some of them have a blue closure and some of them have a white closure. I've also done some ruffles on each book, not too many, just a few to add a nice little bit of texture and interest and prettiness to the books. Feels really lovely in your hands. There's also some sewing and some pockets, which I will show you because I'm going to show you inside each of these books. I'm not going to show you every page in the books though, because there's so many and there's so much to go through, but I'm just going to show you each cover up close first. So this book has a beautiful little cottage image. The color of the book is like a blue color, which I painted, and I tried lots of different distressing techniques. So they're quite a bit grungy, which is what I was going for. They also have some beautiful decals on the cover. So this one has this rose decal, and I also used some glossy accents on each book cover just to do some kind of like raindrop techniques, which I don't know if you can see very clearly, but it looks really lovely and it feels really lovely too. It's just a little raised clear glossy accent dot, which looks like little dewdrops or raindrops on the flowers. And then they also have some embossing, some like textured embossing. So this one has this leafy vine. Then on the covers, each of them, they're a bit different to each other, but each of them you can see some fabric. I purposely used fabric that was really beautiful for the bases of the cover, and then I painted over the top, and I did this kind of peekaboo effect where I left some of that original fabric peeking through. I don't know if that makes sense. If you have taken my cover building class on Etsy, you know how I build my covers, or through videos or whatnot, and you know how I build my covers, I use fabric. And so I purposely used fabric that I was going to showcase a little bit. So this one has a little rectangle piece of that fabric peeking through, and then I painted over the top. This is a little bunny decal, little floral decal at the top, and then the back is plain painted but distressed, very distressed, which again is what I was going for. So that's the cover of this one. So the next one I will show you is this one. So this one again has a really sweet little cottage image and a little oval window, and then some embossing again on the cover. So this is a very textured floral design, And then some floral decals. And for this one, again, we've got the fabric peeking through. This one has a little bit more fabric, so the entire spine. And then on the back, when I painted the back, I did this kind of little, I don't know what to call this, but I just painted it in this way where it was kind of wrapping around those roses, which felt like blended it together nicely. So this was one of the techniques that I tried that I hadn't done before. Then there's a little deer at the top and this little like hedgehog at the bottom, and the beautiful charms. They all have a key and they all have this little heart button and then some different beads. This one has a white closure, and then we've got some ruffles, and I'll show you the inside of this one shortly. So this one is kind of like a grayish bluish brown. I did lots of distressing techniques as well, so very, very grungy. This one has a little cottage, some trees, and you can see some little chickens in the image as well. And then this one's like an oval. I feel like the colors all complement each other really nicely. We've got this beautiful floral raised area on the front, and then the little rose decal at the bottom. This one has a blue closure. Then we've got some more decals on the spine, beautiful charms, and then the back of this one looks like this. So very grungy and distressed. And the original fabric on this one is this floral fabric, which is not super obvious, but this here along the sides and on the spine is the original fabric for the book, and I've just grunged it up a heap. Then I'm going to show you this pink one. This is the only pink one. So this one again has rose decal at the bottom with the little glossy accent raindrop effect. We've got this embossed area on the cover. So this beautiful frame, which is really lovely and textured. And then this is an image from a Hansel and Gretel book. I've used it before actually for a different journal cover. So I had the same book and I just used that same image because I think it's really lovely. And then the roses along the top. This one has a white closure, and then we've got our charms, little decal at the top, and some blue binding, little owl. And then this is the back, so again very grungy. Next I will show you this little mouse one. So this one's green. This one also has a rose decal at the bottom, which is really beautiful and contrasts really nicely with the green. So some roses along the top, and then this area around the frame or around the window is all embossed. So it's raised and it's got this beautiful floral design. Then the cover again has this little sort of peekaboo area to the original fabric, and then some decals. The back of this one, I painted it like two-toned. So I just used like some tape to section it off, and then I painted two different colors, which I like to do sometimes. And then the charms just complement the colors in the cover, so greens and reds. The ruffles, so there's that one. Then we have this one. This one's kind of like an apricot kind of color. So this is the fabric that's peeking through, the original fabric for the cover when I built the cover. The spine looks like this. It's got a bit of gold in the middle and then some decals. Again, very distressed, very aged. This is the back. The image for this one is this little tree with a bird and a squirrel, and then we've got this embossed piece over the top. A blue closure, all of our beautiful ruffles and pages. And then there's just two more covers that I want to show you up close, and then I'll give you a glimpse inside. So this one is another brown one. I really love this one. I think this could be my favorite or one of my favorites. I love all of the ones with cottages especially. All of this area on the cover is embossed, which is really pretty. And then we've got the roses along the top. This one has a white tie closure. You can see the ruffles. And then the spine of this one has two sections of fabric peeking through. So this kind of red floral fabric. And then in the middle we've got this little, is it like a badger? I'm from Australia, so we don't have these animals, but it's really cute. And then we've got the owl at the bottom, and this is the back, just plain brown and distressed. So there's that one. And then the last one to show you the cover is this brown one again. So this is another one with a cottage through the window, and then this beautiful floral, which just looks so vintage. And then I've done the little drops of glossy accents on the leaves, like little raindrops. This one has a blue closure. Again, we've got the fabric ruffles, pages, and then the spine has this gorgeous fabric peeking through. We've got a little deer decal on the bottom and a little bird at the top, and then all of these. So those are the covers of the books. The sun is rapidly going down, so I'm going to show you the inside pages pretty quickly. I'm going to do it pretty quickly, and as I go, I'm going to explain what's inside. So all of the books are very similar inside. They all have the same mixture of stuff. So what I did was I tea dyed a bunch of paper. I also printed some papers from a shop called Chapter 1 Papers, which I discovered recently. So all of the really vintage looking papers that look like this are from Chapter 1. I'll link their shop down below. But I got them printed at Officeworks so that they would be waterproof, and then I tea dyed them. So all of the books have their own little selection of papers from Chapter 1. They're all unique to each other, but they all have this sort of very vintage fairy tale vibe, which I thought was gorgeous. I've used a little bit of scrapbook paper, but not much. And the scrapbook paper that I've included is beautiful Claire Therese Grey scrapbook paper. I've used storybook paper from lots of like fairy tale sort of pages, and then I've also used some little fabric flips and pockets, and then I've also sewn in lots of little paper pockets and stuff. So there's some really interesting papers in each book. The inside of these books are all lined with wallpaper. There's two different types, so they'll either have this orange type or a more blue toned, cool toned type, which I'll show you when we get to one of those books. So this beautiful wallpaper on the inside, and I'm just going to be really quick just because we're running out of daylight. They also have some laminated floral stickers, sort of like little specimen pieces, which I think are really beautiful in this theme. And then I have put some goodies inside some of the pockets as well, so there's some different bits for you to play with. So I would describe the pages in this collection of journals as plain. Like, they're plain for you to fill up every single page however you wish, but they're also very interesting. I wanted to have lots of different textures and pops of colour and contrast in all the pages so that each page is really interesting to look at. There's lots of pockets and different elements to play with. I also printed out some of my vintage envelopes and postcards at Officeworks, and I tea dyed those as well. So I am going to be quite quick, but that is that one. Next, I'll show you inside this apricot one quite quickly. So again, all of the same types of papers. There's like little wallpaper pockets. This one has the same lining on the inside cover. There's some fabric sewing and some pockets. Different types of pockets too. I did like little triangle pockets. I did top loading, I did bottom loading, side loading. There's really lovely book pages from some of my favourite books that I've collected, and gorgeous tea-dyed paper and some beautiful papers from Chapter 1, which is super nice. Claire Therese Grey Craft Consortium paper and laminated pieces to play with. So there's that one. Inside the pink one, again, same sort of thing. I'll just give you a quick glimpse. So this is the other wallpaper lining that you may see. So there's just the two. So I use the same for each book. Beautiful Chapter 1 papers, vintage ledger papers, lots of lovely envelopes and papers and things to play with. So just going to give you a really quick glimpse as we flick through. I love that the pages inside these books are really interesting, and that there's so many different things going on that complement each other really nicely, but that also every single page you turn to can be customized however suits you and your journaling. So that's the pink one. Then this really sweet cottage one. So some lovely ruffles. I'm going to get a little bit quicker as I flick through, just so that I can make sure I have enough daylight for each book. But again, all the same types of stuff, so just really gorgeous papers, lovely base pages to play with. So there's that one. Then we have this one, and the closures just tie. You can just tie them off in a bow. It's just this lovely seam binding, and I just put a little bit of stuff to stop it fraying at the ends, but you can always swap it out too if you would rather a different colour, or you need something longer as it gets bulky. Just lots of lovely, beautiful vintage feel papers. Really nice mix of stuff. Really, really nice. So there's that one. Then inside this one, again, all the same stuff. Some beautiful, crinkly, interesting paper textures and different tones that just, you might not think to put together, like this blue and this red, but just look so kind of elegant and royal together. They kind of just complement each other perfectly. There's some really beautiful tea dye effects as well. So there is that one. Then the last two, so we'll go with this one first. This beautiful wallpaper. Lovely crinkly pages, little fabric flips, top loading pockets and storybook pages, fabric ruffles, wallpaper pockets, just lovely little bits and bobs. I really love how the pages in these turned out too. So there's that one. And then the last one to show you inside very quickly is the little mouse one. So this is the lining on the back and front, and then all of the same beautiful paper types. Some little mice imagery in this book too, just to go with the cover. Just really lovely crinkly tea-dyed paper and just really gorgeous imagery in the book pages. So there's the last one. So this is the collection. Hopefully the lighting is showing everything accurately. It is quite late in the afternoon. We're on school holidays here too, so we've been sick, and we've also just been kind of like stuck at home because we're all on different levels of recovering. But it's late in the afternoon. I've got a little bit of quiet to show you guys this collection. I really hope you enjoyed seeing it. If you have any questions on anything, you can just leave them in the comments down below. I will also pop in the description box all the information for the sale. So if you'd like to purchase one of these journals, I'm probably going to have 6 up on Etsy for sale, and then I'll have 2 on eBay for auction, just so there's different methods of trying to secure a book. But I will have the links to my shops down below and all the information to that down below. So thank you again so much for stopping by my channel today and watching this video until the end. If you have a favorite book in this collection, I would love to know which one is your favorite and why. I'm really kind of struggling to pick my favorites. I would say the ones with the cottages, but then I also really have a soft spot for the others. So it's really hard to pick, but if you have a standout, I'd love to know which one it is and why. I hope you guys are all doing really well, and I will see you again soon in my next video.